Hi, I'm Charlie Galdona, and this is Winning Attitude for Entrepreneurs. Today, with a guest with a great winning attitude. Claudio Fray is best known for helping women entrepreneurs change their lives through sport and mindset training. With studies in medicine, nutrition, and neurolinguistic training, he had to go through a strong transformation himself when he decided to change around 7 years ago. In the present, his company, The Fray, offers different workshops and challenges to embrace change in relatively short time, with proven results in more than 600 entrepreneurs. Welcome, Claudio.
Thank you, Charlie. Thank you for that nice introduction.
Welcome to the podcast. Yeah, it's really nice
having me.
that you're here. And yeah, we are more or less close by. I'm in Harlem and you're in Amsterdam, but yeah, in these times, we still need to do it like this.
No problem at all.
Yeah. Well, Claudio, here we talk a lot about the winning attitude, and I talk about attitude, but it does have a lot of relationship with the mindset, and obviously it's about taking action with that mindset. But tell me a little bit about that mindset training and what is the relationship with sport, because you are in both worlds and you try to interconnect it.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you for this introduction. I just realized while I was listening to it, I thought, wow, I think speaking of winning, I just won somehow because I just listened to this introduction of myself, and never in a million years I would thought that there was somebody who would do this research and kind of nail it as well. So thank you very much for the first win of this day.
You're welcome.
Yeah, as to your question, you asked me about mindset and related to sports. What's the relationship with that? And I think for me, the most important thing while I was training, so at the beginning, I was not happy with myself. I looked in the mirror, I felt disgusted, sad, insecure. And at a certain point, I realized I was walking in the gym and I saw these guys. They had amazing bodies. They all seemed to be very happy. And I was just miserable. I was just fighting. I was just going for it. And I was just constantly, walking against the wall, constantly feeling sad, feeling angry, feeling so powerless. And I think that at a certain moment, I thought to myself, there has to be an easier way for me to do the work and not feel so shitty all the time. I was in the gym and I was looking at these guys. They were all so happy and they were all so, they all seemed to not be fighting against themselves. And after a few times, I spun through my head and I just thought to myself, there has to be a way for me to get in their space. So to be training all these hours they were training, to go through that pain, to eat what they have to eat, to do what they have to do without having this constant fight against myself. And I think after a while, I realized that this didn't have anything to do with the fact that the training was hard, but it had everything to do with the fact that I, as a person, had so many things to overcome in order to be disciplined, be consistent, but also love myself enough to undergo this whole process. And step by step, so layer by layer, I realized that this whole thing had nothing to do with training. It had nothing to do with nutrition, but it had everything to do with how I, as a person, was reacting to what I was doing. So, this training was making me insecure, not because it was the fault of the training or the guys, but it was the fact that being in the gym made me confront myself that I wasn't feeling good enough. Yeah. I was feeling like a loser. I was feeling weak. I was unhappy with my body. So I was just training and being so impatient and wanting to see the results and not seeing them fast enough.
Yeah.
And so this whole process kept going on. And then I studied some courses on psychology, on coaching, while I was doing my professional training. And more, I realized that all these people I was training, and including myself, it had so little to do with the actual stuff we were teaching. So the actual training, the actual nutrition, the actual schedules. And it had everything to do with helping the person overcome all the hurdles they had that was stopping them from getting to place B and where they were standing at A.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that is a relationship with your mindset and this whole sports thing. You cannot move forward if you don't have a winning mindset.
Yeah, yeah,
If you're
yeah.
focused on being a loser, you will always lose.
And how do you change that? Because one of the I do a workshop with different entrepreneurs, and it's called the 13 habits of the people with a winning attitude. And I try to, with all these interviews and chats and mentoring, I try to analyze which are those aspects that have the entrepreneurs with a winning attitude. One of them that I realized is rewiring those limiting beliefs. We all have limiting beliefs when we are a child, and we bring them from our family, sometimes from school, from I don't know, from different moments of your life. But you can change, you can rewire those limiting beliefs through habit. Yeah, changing those habits and trying to rewire your brain. How do you work on that for towards a change of mindset? Because I can imagine many people ask you, Claudio,
Yeah.
I would love to achieve this or that as an entrepreneur and also in sport and whatever, but then you need to make a switch somehow to bring them into that new mindset.
I think the most important thing, before you get to the how do you change, so the practicality of it all,
Yeah.
um, let me say it this way. When I was a teenager, I had a very rough time, and there were even times where I considered killing myself. So I
Okay.
was there, I had a knife,
Tough.
started cutting, and then I
Yeah.
decided, you know what, I'm not going to do it. And the reason why I tell you this is because at that moment I developed some kind of unconscious strategy in which I promised myself, okay, if tomorrow is as shitty as today,
Yeah.
then I'll kill myself tomorrow.
Okay.
Then it was tomorrow again, and then it was maybe not better, but then I promised myself again, okay, just one more day. If tomorrow is as shitty as today, then I'll do it tomorrow. And that kept going on and
Yeah.
on and on. And at a certain point, I realized that wanting to change has everything to do with endurance and
Okay.
knowing you're going through hell and knowing you will go through hell, but
Yeah.
also having the being so decisive in the fact that you will see it through all the way to the end.
Yeah.
At that moment, I developed this strategy in which I promised myself, when I'm going through hell, I will just see it one day at a time, and I will do everything I can to make that one day better, and then one by one by one by one.
I can
And why
imagine
do I?
you went through really tough times to get there.
Yeah,
That
yes,
you were living in Curacao when you were a kid, and
I was
when
living
did you
here.
decide to move to Amsterdam?
I decided to move to Amsterdam when I was done with high school,
Okay.
and yeah, for most people, it's a very logic step after high school.
Yeah.
But for me, it was also fleeing this place because it was not a place I was feeling welcome, um, for many different reasons.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I can
um,
imagine you went through very difficult times, and this brought me to the thought. Well, I've interviewed people that went through really tough times. Roberto Canesa, for example, is one of the survivor of the Andes, and the plane that crashed, and with the rugby team, and yeah, really difficult situations of survival, real survival. And this brought me to another thought that yeah, I believe that this power, this energy that comes from a lot of entrepreneurs like you comes out of necessity many times. Sometimes you need to hack your mind and think you have a need if you don't have any, but sometimes it comes from real necessity, and you had it. You were
yeah,
you went
definitely.
to the bottom of the bottom. Yeah. No, it's yeah. Well,
I
I'm really
think,
happy that you're in this situation now. Yes.
yeah. But like I say, I think, coming back to your question about how do you
Yeah.
actually change the mindset. Um, of course, the reason why I told that is, one, you need to be decisive that you will see this all the way through,
Yeah.
and you need to realize that it's going to be tough. It's
Yeah.
going to be difficult. It's going to be hell. Maybe at some points you will feel like more than quitting. So
Yeah.
just like I felt like literally quitting life.
Yeah.
But you need to realize the only way to see it through is to go through that hell. And also, like you said, it comes out of necessity. So for me, I have a reason to have this winning mindset. To
Yeah.
me, I've experienced so many things in life. I will tell you this, you're probably one of the first people to know. Last week, Friday, I was moving some stuff from my old gym. I was moving a big mirror. And it was a mirror of 3 meters by 3 meters. So that's a very big and heavy mirror.
Yeah.
We were loading it in the car. And what happened, as soon as we shoved it into the truck, it broke in two. And I was standing at the back of the mirror and the mirror fell on me. And what did I do? Out of reflex, I pushed it away with my elbow. It broke into a billion pieces. And then I managed to jerk away right in time. And all the pieces fell on the floor right where I was standing. And all I had was a painful arm and a scratch somewhere in my back.
Yeah.
But literally, I could have died again.
Yeah.
So, yes, it's
The
crazy.
near-death experiences. Yeah.
Yes, near-death.
Other people, Paulo Fernandez, a swimmer, talked about it also. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, you're back. So what a lot of people don't have is this mission, this moment in where they decide enough is enough. I don't want to die like this. I don't want to live like this. I need something else. And I think I wake up every morning, I have a goal, there are things I want in life. I think about them every day. And that drives me forward to the winning mindset. That makes me want to better myself. That makes me want to wake up earlier or stop eating certain things I can't stop eating, or behave in a certain way because I've been behaving differently. So literally, I grab this pain or this energy or this desire I have, and I make it big and big and bigger. And I use that every day. And that's I think those two things, seeing it through all the way to the end and realizing it's going to be hell, and using the fuel, a certain type of fuel every day, those are two very important things that most people never even touch because they're so focused on the know-how.
Yeah. And it's an amazing story what you told me, Claudio. And yeah, I can imagine it's a source of drive that it's huge. But I can imagine also at some point, do you come back to those days? Do you remember those days like on the present every day, or it's something that okay, I'm changed now and I don't want to. I know I went through that, and I realized that it's been tough times and I changed, or is it something that you come back to that, I don't know, every once in a while, or you prefer to, okay, I now I'm a different person and I'm focused on what I do nowadays?
I think at the beginning I was angry and upset, so I would go back to those moments, feel everything I felt then, and use it as a fuel. But there has to come a moment where you're not that person anymore.
Yeah.
Because obviously you're in the process of changing. And what I often say when I talk about this experience, I often say it feels like I'm telling the story of my twin brother.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel, yes, it happened to me, but it didn't happen to the person I am today. It happened to this other version of me. However, I will never forget it, and I will never especially forget the lesson. So I look back, not angry or sad, but I look back grateful and like you said, with a winning mindset. I overcame this. I overcame bullying. I survived suicide. I survived depression. I survived bulimia. There are so many things I didn't only survive. Now I'm thriving because of that. Those things, it laid a foundation. As shitty as they are, and as nasty as they were, and as horrible as it was, I am grateful.
Yeah. Oh, that's great to hear. Why women, Claudio? Why are the women your target and your audience? And I've heard the hundreds of women entrepreneurs that love what you do.
Yeah, entrepreneurs and also professionals. So I don't make a distinction yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, why did I choose women? You know, I think in the beginning it's something that it was just created like that. So at the beginning I didn't have a focus, but
Yeah.
at a certain point I realized that what I was saying, women were more receptive to this.
Yeah.
Why? Because I'm a black gay man from a different country,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, you said in the beginning that women have very different starting point, and I think I understand that because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have,
You went through also that different
yeah,
starting point for sure. Yeah.
exactly, a different starting point. And I think, not to be hateful towards white men or something,
Yeah.
white
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
men,
Yeah.
you know, it's definitely not
Yeah.
discussion. But I know what it feels like to be a minority, to be hated on, to be, you know, looked down on by society.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think women need this. Women need this. There are so many strong women. I identify with a lot of women, because I see there's a lot of strength in the way women are, and I think we just don't do enough. I think we men would be better if there were more strong women out there, advocating, doing their thing. The entrepreneurial landscape would be so much better if there were more strong women out there doing
Yeah.
business.
Yeah. 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 I agree.
You know, we would have a more emotional world, more balanced out. And I think it has everything to do, of course, with the women themselves, but it has also everything to do with, these women are going to make men better as well.
Yeah. Well,
And
I've talked with one of women, yeah, leaders in entrepreneurship in Latin America, and yeah, she would talked. Well, we know about many things that, for example, for the same kind of work, they earn around 20-30% the same jobs, 20-30% less than men, and things like that. That there are many statistics around. But one of the things that I was happy is to there's this platform, the Fuck Up Nights, for example, where she shared her stories, and one of the things that you see is that many women embrace failure, because one of the big things about entrepreneurship is that we will fail, that's for sure, at some point, many times, hopefully, and
many,
then we learn to to stand up again and again, and change and reinvent yourself. But one of the maybe it's a thing of the ego. I don't know, but I can imagine maybe that men somehow are not that easy with sharing those failure experiences, and with women it's much easier. What do you think? That does it have to do with the way they are, or I don't know?
yeah, for sure. You know, definitely. The funny thing is, I mean, it's been researched. Men are just wired somehow to, ignore all the bad things and just
Okay.
enlarge all the big things.
Yeah.
So, from a neurolinguistic perspective, which I studied, what these men do are constantly telling themselves, reinforcing their positive beliefs. Yes, I'm great. Yes, I'm cool. Yes, I can do this. Yes, I'm a great entrepreneur. Yes, I'm a great salesman.
Yeah.
And men have this natural tendency to enforce themselves, even though, it sometimes might be a factual lie.
Yeah.
It ends up making them feel good and feeling confident. While
Yeah.
women have the more natural tendency to, underestimate themselves, and they reinforce their negative thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah, that wasn't good enough. Yeah, that's not perfect. Yeah, I could have done better. And what happens is that they are also factually wrong, because they are in fact telling themselves they're less good than they actually are.
Yeah.
So men and women are not that different. However, they just look the other way.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And what they both do is they are very good at telling themselves something and reinforcing that certain belief. So we do that, both genders do that equally, only men are naturally inclined to do it in the positive way,
Yeah.
and women are naturally inclined to do it the negative side.
Yeah.
And yes, why is this? Um, Honestly, I don't know, but I do think it's because women are very. Also, it has to do with society. So what I see is that women are very afraid to grab be in the limelight. They're very
Mm.
afraid to, say that it's something good, because it comes off at show offy. It's not ladylike. So there's a lot of stigma on success and women, especially in the small things.
Yeah.
So it's these little things that make this big success impossible. It's the day-to-day giving yourself a compliment, thinking you're great. And men are super used to this. When I talk to men, it's like, oh, you did a good job. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, you're so cool. Oh, yeah, I'm so cool. And, nobody gives a damn. But with women, it's always like, oh, what will they think of me and this? And I see this happening. And I'm not trying to be a sexist here, but it's just factually what's happening. And what I do, I want to make these women realize that, come on, if you want to achieve something, you have to get over this bullshit, because this whole society bullshit and this whole we need to be very polite and very ladylike. This is so 1990. We need to get over this.
Yeah, one of the things Macarena Bota, she explained me, well, she works with a lot of women and in UN Women, and she was telling me the story that for the same job, for example, if a man has like 50 to 70% of the skills to apply, he will apply. And a woman that has the 100% of the skills, she will doubt about it.
Yeah.
So that's also a change of mindset that,
Right.
we need more women leaders, but yeah, it's a matter also of belief. And it's a whole society thing. And yeah, it's been, I don't know, 100 years of this way, this paradigm where we are, this paradigm where we are in, and it definitely is changing, but very slowly, unfortunately.
Well, yes. I think our generation is starting to see that differently. I mean, this Corona, for example, it has brought us all to a halt. And as women are now realizing, also due to Corona, that, for example, because their husbands lost their jobs or their businesses, that they are the ones that now need to go harder and do it. Otherwise, their whole family are going to sink.
There's a real necessity. Now it's
necessity. Exactly. So what you see is the safety, what's happening. The man cannot provide safety anymore, and the woman now has to rise. She has to stop. She doesn't bring something, the whole family won't make it.
And you need a team to work like that. At least at home, with my wife, we built an amazing team in that sense. And she's a professional. She's a lawyer, and she flies all around. And since we had kids, I had to be more the family manager and entrepreneur, and more or less juggle a little bit. But I've seen in many people I know that it's very difficult to let go of that ego or whatever it is, that we are the man and we are the provider of everything. And it's quite difficult. So we were raised somehow that way. So you need to make a strong change in the mindset.
It all starts, and we're talking about changing the mindset all the time. But I think what we actually want to say is, what you need to do is, in the first place, realize you have these beliefs. So realize, okay, somewhere in my mind, I have this weird belief that as a woman, I need to take care of the kids. I need to put myself in second place. I need to maybe cook dinner for my husband when he gets here, or in your case, for example, I need to go out there, I need to earn some money, I need to come back and take care of my woman. We have these beliefs, and even though it's not something you think about every day, it's latent somewhere in the back of your brain. And the first thing you have to do is sit down with, I think I make people sit down with a piece of paper, and I say, okay, well, write 100 things you believe about yourself. Or write down the 10 most important life events that have made you angry or sad or mad or disappointed. And write down as a cause of this event, what do you believe about yourself? And then people will realize, oh shit, I have a lot of
you're really unlocking the limiting beliefs.
I have a lot of them, only I don't think about them, but they're there, and they're doing their work.
Oh, Claudio, I thank you very much for this chat. For sure, I would love to have a longer chat soon when the corona is gone. I don't know, but we'll see each other soon around. And yeah, I really thank you, and for sure many people will take a lot of your tips, and yeah, they can all find you at defray.nl. And yeah, I wish you all the best in these times, and
Thank you,
wish
Charlie.
you a lot of success in the future, and keep up with training entrepreneurs. And I love that mindset training, and I
Thank
love
you.
that many women are starting to push,
Push
and
forward.
I see an amazing future.
Thank you for having me. And for sure, I think one of the last things I do want to give to everybody listening is seriously remember the story about my attempt at suicide, and know that if you decide you're going to keep moving forward and you are determined, it's going to happen for you, for
Oh,
sure.
oh, that thanks
Thank you,
for
Charlie. Thank you for
sharing.
having me.
No, thanks. This was Winning Attitude for Entrepreneurs.